Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 646 of the DrunkNerds podcast. I'm host, as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Well, I'll tell you what, man, this has been a really interesting and really hard kind of week for old Colonel Gables. First and foremost, I did have an upper respiratory infection. It did last for a good portion of this week. And on top of that, when I went into work on Wednesday, I accidentally sprained my right ankle. Like, it was a bad sprain. It wasn't any type of fractures or any type of breaks or anything like that, though, but it was enough to where it bruised my top end of my foot and I couldn't put any pressure on the thing like for a good solid day and a half. It wasn't until yesterday that I decided just to keep my boots on and try to help stabilize the initial thing that it actually did help kind of relax the muscles around there. But other than that, though, I am kind of a little bit in the sense of like mourning right now because it's like one of my favorite players from the Oakland Athletics passed on the past couple of days ago. And I kind of find it ironic is after Oakland stops being an organization, all of a sudden one of its best players passes on. So the player I'm referring to is Ricky Henderson. He is the all-time leader in steals and stuff from Major League Baseball at one point. He had two World Series. Like he helped win two World Series and stuff for two different teams. Obviously, the Oakland Athletics back in '89, the last time they actually won a World Series, and the other was for the Toronto Blue Jays. But Ricky Henderson played for multiple different types of teams, like from the Yankees to the Mets to the even the Seattle Mariners at one point. I mean, he played baseball. He loved baseball. But I have a little bit of a funny story though. And this comes by way of my older brother because back in the early 90s, my older brothers, because they would go visit their dad and stuff, because, like for visitation stuff, and plus they just want to visit their family down in California. Well, during this initial visit they had to California, they had a chance to go to an Oakland Athletics game, right? So this is like the early 90s. So we're talking about
Hmm.
still with the Bash brothers. We're still talking about like guys like Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, like guys like that, Dennis Eckersley, And my brothers had this Oakland A's ball, right? And they actually got a bunch of players to sign this ball. So among the names that are on there, I mean, I think I think they had like Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco's name and stuff on it.
Nice.
But the funniest thing happened and stuff for them is they actually got Ricky Henderson to sign this ball. And the most hilarious part about it is Ricky Henderson was like he was drunk and he was kind of a little bit like he was not only drunk though, but he was like he's like as part of his like his collar was messed up, and so this is just before the A's game started, and he was already kind of inebriated and stuff like that. It's like so they just go up to him, it's like, hey Ricky, can you sign the ball? It's like he just goes just signs initial thing, gives it back to just gives no like not two fucks or something like that, gives it back to him. But the thing about it is that same baseball we have in a little shadow box that's in my mom's curio cabinet, and we've had that for like over 30 something years
That's
now.
awesome.
And the thing about it, dude, it's like a part of the reason why that I'm still kind of like sentimental in terms of the Oakland Athletics and even more so about Ricky Henderson's passing is it's basically kind of like my family has like ties with like the Oakland A's in terms of like going to their first games, like going and doing like just like moments like that, experiences like that. I mean, I completely spaced until I was talking with my brother today. And yeah, that whole story with Ricky Henderson, it just makes me fucking laugh every time I think about it because it's like out of all the athletes or something like that that's going to give you an autograph, it's a half drunk Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's like it's just a lot of like fun family memories, really. I mean, that's all pretty much I could say about that. I mean, the ties like with the East Bay, with the Oakland teams, the San Francisco teams, San Jose, it's that whole ballpark and stuff just brings good memories. But I know that when it comes to Ricky and stuff, it was just shocking. I learned about it today when I was at lunch. I was looking at like my Facebook feed, and all of a sudden I see, oh, Oakland A's Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson died. Like, what? He
Yeah.
died? Like,
65.
he was only in his mid 60s and he died of pneumonia,
Oh, I know. Okay.
dude. So it was
Yeah.
like he was hospitalized before. He pretty much got pneumonia not too long after that and stuff, and he passed. I mean, it's a shame, but at the same time, it's like it just kind of makes me kind of sad because it's like it's a little bit of like it's just kind of a little bit of like my childhood just saying, hey, you know what? Like nothing's gonna last forever. You got to keep on moving on regardless of what happens. And he
Yeah.
was one of my favorite players when I was growing up as a kid. But yeah, other than that stuff, it's like I've had that. I've had all the just looking at the various like just looking at the various like sports stuff, But for gaming wise, I've just been just keen on playing a little bit of the usual stuff, like the TCG stuff for Pokemon, and like I actually did go through and play a little bit of stuff like on oh god, my Analog Pocket.
Oh, nice.
I still have charge. I did charge it. I was still starting to continue on playing little stuff on that and stuff. But otherwise, the week itself, it could have been better, but it's still it's still better than what some other people's have had this week.
Yeah. True. True.
But how was your week, Tyler?
It's all right. Up and down, up and down. Finally got the approval to go back to work after 6 months with dealing with it's funny. I'm going back to work from my ankle injury, and you just got your own. So we're kind of like we're two ships passing in the night of injuries here. So
Yeah, but at the same time, though, I mean, yours had you sit out for like 6 months.
yeah,
Mine, fortunately, had me sit out for like maybe 2 days at max.
yeah, it's just funny at the timing of that.
I
But
know, I
yeah,
know.
no, yeah, but I'm doing okay, I guess. I'm kind of bummed about obviously it's like I'm not like I'm excited like it's been long 6 months of
Yeah.
being stuck in an apartment. Spent 4 months in a boot and then physical therapy, surgery, and all that and everything. It's been pretty miserable, but obviously it's like could be worse. I was still able to somewhat walk and wipe myself and play video games, so could have been worse. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'm gonna miss. I was like, I woke up this morning and my dog was like laying on like right next to my chest, and we're all cuddled up and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna miss this. Like sleeping in on the, sleeping in with them and just getting cuddle with them and everything like that. We got like a nice routine going on. But I don't know. It's whatever. Like I'm excited to like get out and be able to do things again and have money again. That's really exciting. Workman's comp sucks ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's like you're going back to work. So how exciting could it be? And also, I'm going back to work on the busiest day of the year. So that's not fun.
Yeah.
So it could be I had two different bosses tell me that's the stupidest time to come back. But yeah, I'm doing all right. It's pretty funny though. I did have it was my dad and my sister are like they play like Warzone a lot. Like that's like
Yeah.
all my dad plays is Warzone. My sister all she pretty much plays is Warzone. She might dabble in like another game every now and again, but it's they're PC gamers and stuff. That's what they play. But like years ago when like Fortnite first kind of blew up, my sister was playing like the OG Fortnite, and so my sister's been playing it again, and I played with her a few times like years ago when she was playing it. And I'm not a Warzone guy at all, but like I you know me, Gables with Fortnite. Like I'll jump in usually like one season every year. I'll just jump into it and get into it pretty
Mm.
hardcore and play it. But usually it's oddly enough about this time of year. Like I just kind of burn out on like I'm just it's holidays are like it's usually really busy this time of year for me with work, and then uh, typically this time of year now a lot of this new stuff's coming out. And then it's like I'm just like don't have the energy to like want to start a new game, and like Fortnite's just kind of the perfect game like just jump in, play a few games, and get out. Um, so like it was funny enough though that my sister called me the other day, and
Mm-hmm.
my dad was home because of the weather, and then
Yeah.
I was home and my sister was home, so she called me and we actually played for the first time ever played Fortnite together in a trios match, and
Oh wow.
yeah. So and my dad's never played. This is my first time my dad's ever played Fortnite. He all he plays is Call of Duty. So he's
Oh
using like Call of
jeez.
Duty terms and like he's like so like because so it's like they try to be like hyper realistic and we're playing this goofy ass Fortnite game and like I'm dressed as fucking Peter Griffin doing the "You Can't See Me" in the Crip Walk. There's people. My dad's so baffled by like people dressed up like Naruto and he's like, who are they? Like, who are
He's
these?
like,
Like, I'm doing the
what the
Dragon
hell
Ball
type of weeb
thing.
shit is this?
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck? He's so baffled by all this and like you throw just like the dumb like weapons and all that and like my dad so anyways we played trios And I've never done trios before. Like I've done duos a few times, but I usually just play by
Yeah.
myself. And dude, I shit you not, the first 3 games we played, we fucking won.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like people like if you don't play Fortnite and anything like that, like getting winning those games is pretty hard. Like I played I don't know dozens of matches single player or by myself, and I think I've won like 5 games ever, and it took me like probably 3 dozen tries to finally win. And then like I've won a couple games in duo and stuff, but like I think I've combined won a dozen games in like the time I in like I don't know probably 100 plus matches of Fortnite I've done. So it was just really funny. The first 3 games we played, we won, but it was really funny. I was playing on PlayStation, so I like saved like the last like 60 seconds. So I sent it to my parents, my family, and our group chat. So it's really funny, like cool memory too of just like my dad's like so confused, like just like the first turn, like the first game, like he got 1 kill and it was actually like the game winning kill and all that. So it was very funny. Uh, yeah, but it was a lot of fun.
Uh,
Had a good time. But yeah, but no, cause get it right now. So it's December 21st as we're recording this.
yeah.
22nd when this comes out. It's our last like normal show for a while. It's even so this week's gonna be a little different. Normally we do like I guess we do the spiel right now. In case you don't know, this is a video game podcast where Gables and I get together every week, talk about video games, everything we love and hate about them, everything in between. We're 2 guys. We do this for fun. We have full time jobs. We don't get paid for this. We don't make money off this. We've spent a lot of money doing this podcast. So if you guys want to support us any way, we don't have like a Patreon. There's no way to like send us money. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is watch the podcast, listen to the podcast, subscribe, 5-star reviews, hit the thumbs up, stuff like that. Really would appreciate it. We're on every podcast service. We're on them. So wherever you're on, 5 stars, share with your friends, leave comments, stuff like that. YouTube is probably the best way to actually help us though. We are on YouTube. Please subscribe. We are getting very close to like we can actually make some money on off of ad revenue. So that would be great if you can help us get there. We hit every metric on there except for we need subscribers. We're in like the 460s, like 468 as of this recording. So if you can help us, that'd be fantastic. We've been stuck in the 460s. I swear to God, it feels like 6 months now, but it's probably been like 2 months. But it'd be great if you can help us out. Yeah, but anyways, normally like I said, we talk about all the news that's happened that week and what we've been playing. We'll be doing what we play at the end like we normally do. But there's not really been any news, kind of like as we expected this time of year.
Mm.
Pretty much after the Game Awards, there's not a lot. We've like there's been some stuff. We've seen like a bunch of leaks with the Switch 2 and all that, and there's been a lot of hubbub there. But it's just like I don't know. It's like it's not really new news. Like I feel like it's kind of things like it's just kind of things are getting confirmed that we kind of already knew, and like more rumblings. And I feel like I swear to God, we've been like I burnt out on Switch 2 rumors and leaks and all that 18 months ago. So at
Mm.
this point, I feel like we this time next month we'll probably have a pretty good idea of what this thing is, what's coming, a price point, and all that, or at least Nintendo will officially have shown it to us at some point. So we're not going to really talk about that. There's rumors of like there's gonna be an Xbox developer direct probably next month. Oblivion remake gonna be there, but like I don't know, not a lot going on as far as like news. So kind of the plan for the next few weeks is we're gonna do this week's episode is kind of gonna be like a year in review where Gables and I are gonna go through and discuss our wraps. We got our wraps for PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. Kind of break those down a little bit. We do have we'll see how we're doing for time, but we have the Circana report for November. And then we'll do what we've been playing. But then next week, Gables and I, a while ago, like over a month ago, we planned ahead actually. We recorded an episode. It's a fun episode. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It'll be up on I would say though, if you are, you'll be able to listen to it fine if you're an audio listener. But this might be a better episode for video ones. If you wanna if you're gonna plan on listening to this, whatever, watch it on YouTube. I think it's gonna be a lot better on YouTube. But it's a fun little episode that Gables didn't even know what was happening until we were on the show.
That's
That
true.
Yeah, so it was another fun one for us. So the plan is that's gonna come out next week, so that way Gables and I can, we got Christmas this week, got New Year's after, so Gables and I can have a little bit of a break. I'm going back to work, so kind of help me with that a little bit, and then we can, like I said, we never take time off. We literally get 2 weeks off a year, and they're literally right around here. So we usually do like we kind of double up episodes this time of year, but this because of like timing, we actually planned one ahead last month to get it out. So we actually got a full week off and don't have to like double up on recordings. because we never miss a week as far as new episodes, but we try to double up when we can and take a week off. And then in 2 weeks, so the first two episodes of 2025, we'll be back in 2 weeks with our game of the year. There'll be two parts. There'll be we make our top 10 list. We don't know what they are. We find out live while we're doing the show. Um, I think that'll be our 12th annual game of the
Yep.
year list from us, which is crazy to say. But yeah, so we'll do our top 10. The first part will be 10 through 6, and then part 2 will be 5 through 1, and like honorable mentions. And then we'll be back mid January, back to a normal schedule. If something happens with Switch 2, we will be back for that. We will
Yes.
come back for that. But I think that's one of the only things that's like feasible in the next few weeks that we come back for. If like something major happens, we'll come back for that. But like outside of that, if nothing happens there, Gables and I, like, we're gonna take, like I said, we literally only get 2 weeks off a year, and they're literally right now. So it's like E3 dying kind of killed us there, because that was like our only other time we got to take a week off. So, but yeah, that is kind of the plan with what's going on. So, yeah, just heads up on that. So yeah, like I said, this will be like our last kind of normal episode for a while, and then we'll be back. And we'll still have content, just be different, and then we'll be back full swing in mid January 2025. But Gables, let's just get into
Yeah.
it. Let's jump into our wraps for the year. Should we start with Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation?
Okay. I kind of want to. I kind of want to hear your Nintendo stuff personally.
Okay. It's really funny.
What?
So it just shows you where we're at with the Switch. I'm gonna take a drink. I haven't taken a drink of beer in a second. Oh, it's good beer. Oh man, I'm drinking a Swarm. It's a Iowa Hawkeye beer. So all right. So yeah, we'll go with Nintendo here. So for Nintendo this year, I played 43 hours on my Switch this year, Gables. 43
Okay.
hours. So what I like about like this one, I believe PlayStation does it too, where they break it down by month.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it. Let me go to the month here. The month breakdown. So uh, I I played 43 hours of the Switch this year. 34 of those hours were in June. Six were in September, and then the rest of the year I played a combined 3 hours. And then like I played like 1 hour in October, and then like there was like 2 other months where I played like less than an hour, and that's it. So like I pretty much only turned my Switch on for like 3 months out of the entire year. Um, 2 of those hours was the Game Boy on Switch. I remember that I played Super Mario Land 2 on there. I played a couple hours of Picross,
Yeah.
like an hour of Peglin, and then my top three games played were number two or number three was 2 hours of Picross S plus, because I love Picross, and I buy it every year on there. Number two was Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I played 5 hours of that, and then I played 28 hours of Thousand Year Door.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So they must play a game with like a 1,000 year door.
yeah, and I played 28 hours of it. So, but what about you, Gables? What's your Nintendo?
Okay, so for my Nintendo stuff, well, this is kind of like the issue with last year to where it's like I can't really tie my Nintendo account
Oh,
into the thing
really?
because my email, remember?
Oh,
Remember the whole
yeah.
issue last year
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
where my email to my original account for my Nintendo account is tied to an old Yahoo email that I've since long forgotten the password.
yeah. Oh,
But I can go through and tell you initially what I've had been playing for the past year and tell you how much.
okay.
It's going to be a little bit off the cuff, but I do know that there are a couple of games that I absolutely have been playing a lot of this past year.
Okay. Yeah, it's very telling that like when I saw, like, I knew it was low for me. I remember last year was
Hmm.
pretty low too. Like it wasn't a lot. I want to go back and like listen to last year's now, because like, but there was at least more games that I played or I bought last year for my Switch. So
Yeah.
yeah, just.
I do know that for Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, I think I've played maybe like around 3 hours or something like that. I want to say, yeah, around 3 hours because I was past chapter two, getting into the whole chapter three with the Rock Hawk thing, and I just stopped a little bit while playing that.
Yeah, I ended up
I
finishing
did
it,
play
but
like, let's see, I did play the Nintendo World Championship, the NES edition, for like an hour. So looking at four, and then like I'm not even counting the whole like SNES, NES, and like those little
yeah,
Genesis app stuff because I do know for a fact it's like I have played a lot of those, but there's really no way for me to actually
yeah,
determine how
because it's
much for
over the
this
course of
year.
the years.
So Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, I did play a lot of here, at least 5 hours worth,
Okay.
even though I didn't get through like about half of it. It's just one of those things where I played games and then like I spent like a few hour chunks here and there and stuff, and then just kind of stopped a little bit. So I at least got about, what is it now? Like about 10 hours or so far. Let's see. And you want to know what's really funny is I actually was playing a little bit of Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. My physical copy actually came in through
Oh yeah.
Amazon, and so I have at least played about 2 hours worth of that,
Okay.
even though I've platinumed it earlier on for the PlayStation.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see. As far as like say any other games I can think of, I mean, I'm gonna be checking just my little booklet right here that I haven't updated since like August. Yeah, that's just about me. I used to keep track of a whole bunch of different things here. But as far, oh yeah, I did play a good solid amount of Splatoon 3 Side Order
Oh yeah, that's
this
right. The
past year.
DLC.
That one was my most played for this year in terms of the Nintendo Switch. That was all the way back in March, and that's because of that roguelike thing. I think I spent like maybe about a good solid 3 to 6 hours, I want to say, through that because it was one of those ones that I kept going back and forth between trying to get that ideal run to go to the towards the end of that stuff. Let's see. Was there anything else?
Did you buy that like Mario, Donkey Kong, or Princess Peach game at all, or did you play them?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I
me
didn't even
neither.
buy those. Those ones
Mm,
didn't interest in me at all. So
no.
I'm like, no, forget this.
Yeah. 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 I
I
was
did
thinking.
have a,
Oh, go ahead. Go
yeah.
ahead.
I don't know. You go ahead and finish your statement
Oh,
with that. That was
no.
something totally unrelated.
Mine was like about next year. So go ahead and finish yours up.
Okay, what I was gonna about to ask and stuff like that. I think I'm pretty much like done with the Nintendo stuff. I think I barely spent like actually playing different games other than those NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis apps or something. I gotta admit, maybe like 12 hours.
Damn. So you
I
played less than me.
Yeah, I played less than you, and that's a big deal because I'm normally the one that plays a lot on the Nintendo Switch, and then I
Yeah.
didn't play anything more than set my retro games.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like really most of mine's just playing one game because like I really Paper Mario Thousand Door love that game on GameCube. Played it through again on Switch, but
Hmm.
it's like yeah, you take that away. It's like the only other mainline game I bought for it was uh um Zelda, and I played 5 hours. I didn't like
Yeah.
it, so it's just like I don't know. Like I bought a few other games like Picross, Peglin, and then Thousand Cross Resist. I bought that. That was on sale this week, so I'm gonna play that. That's like probably like the one game I want to play still from like this year. That's like I want to play before we do Game of the Year.
Hmm.
But I have a couple weeks to do that. It's only like a 10-hour game. But like, I mean, the only reason I bought them is because they're exclusive on Switch. Like, otherwise I would have just bought them elsewhere. So, yeah. But I've talked about like really since like that last Pokemon game we got 2022. It's like I've kind of just been done with this console. It's like I'm so ready for Switch 2. It's like I hate turning. I don't even like turning this thing on. It's just like it's slow. My fan's loud. It's just like hums the entire time. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just everything about it just feels slow. And you go in the eShop, it runs like shit. Um, but yeah, the one thing I was thinking about, it was like
Yeah.
I'm like I don't think I'm gonna buy another thing for this. I was thinking about just kind of got upset again that Yu-Gi-Oh collection comes out in January, and it's goddamn exclusive to the fucking Switch.
That honestly, that
Pisses
is
me
one of
off.
my most look forward to things for the next year because it's all of the Game Boy Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah,
games.
yeah. It looks. I mean, it's gonna be awesome. They got Dungeon Dice monsters on there. It's got pretty much everything I wanted. Um, but yeah, it's like god damn it, like why are we putting this, like it's got online, why are we putting on, like I know it's on Steam, but I want to just let me play it on PS5 or Xbox. All right. Anyways, that's kind of I got upset about that. All right, Gables, do you want to go to PlayStation or Xbox next?
Okay, I want to go to Xbox next because I just logged in and did my year review thing for my Xbox thing,
Okay.
and it's going to be incredibly funny. But I want yours to do yours first.
Okay. All right. So, I really like Xboxes. They break it down quite a bit, especially with like the gamer score and stuff like that. So like, all right, on Xbox this year, I played 554 hours Xbox.
Hmm.
I earned over 11,000 gamer score.
Damn.
387 achievements overall.
Yeah.
My busiest month was August, so that's pretty cool. Um, all right, here we go. Let's see a stack up. I was in the top 10 for hours played. Um, Top 1% for achievements and gamer score unlocked.
Hmm.
It's pretty crazy. It doesn't feel like it's like that. 387 achievements, 11,000 gamer score. I don't know. I don't feel like that's crazy, especially because like I'm not playing like those games where you get the easy achievement points either necessarily. I just kind of went all in on the games I played on there, I guess. Um, okay, so my number one most played game was College Football 25. I played 103 hours of that, and I'm in the top, but I'm only in the top 25% for time played this year. Um,
Yeah.
Number two was Madden NFL 25 with 93 hours, and I'm in the top 15% for that played.
Right.
Does help that I played so much of these games because I've been, they came out and then I've been off with the broken foot, so that's been kind of nice. And my number three most played game this year, with 84 hours, was Persona 3 Reload. I was in the top
Oh.
15%. I got, remember, I got all but two achievements in that game. And then it does actually do your top 20 here. Um, I'm not gonna do all. I'm not gonna say all of them, but number four was Dragon Age Veilguard. Dragon Age Inquisition was number five. SteamWorld Heist was
Hmm.
two. Star Wars Outlaws seven. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was eight. Black Ops 6 was nine. Tales of Gazera Zao was 10. So, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, so top 10 overall for the year in time played. But number one, the top 1% in achievements in Gamer Score. That's pretty crazy. What about you, Gables?
Okay. So my year in review right here. They gave me the label here of turn-based tactician. Whether it's defeating a dungeon boss or deploying a squad, success is just a few turns away.
Yeah.
And so basically, you want to know what my number one game for Xbox this year was?
I mean, I'm trying. It's gonna be something stupid. It's gonna. I should know it. What is it?
It's Madden 25.
Oh, fuck! Cause you played the ten
I
hour
paid.
thing.
You want to know why? It's because, and what's funny, it's my number one game played, and it's the demo.
Yeah, you
Four
played. You
hours.
played the 10-hour free EA demo. That's so funny.
Okay,
Jesus.
so basically, my 2024 highlights: the games I played, 16; achievements I earned, 30 plus; gamer score earned like 537; preferred platform console. My busiest month was January,
Hmm,
and my total time was 17 hours.
Jesus Christ. More than your Switch.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't hardly play my Xbox, but yet I haven't played more than my Switch.
That's fucking wild.
But yeah, my number one game was Madden 25. That was 4 hours. My number two game was Hexic HD for 2 hours.
A 360 game.
The number three game was Little Kitty Big City for two
Hell
hours.
yeah. Hell yeah. Good game.
And that's it. That's my top three.
Jesus Christ, Gables. That's so funny.
Oh my god! I told you it was hilarious because I this is the first time I'm actually seeing that.
Yeah. This is my. I'm actually wearing my little kitty big city T-shirt, or button-up
I
shirt.
know, I
So
saw that.
that's pretty funny.
But let me see. There was okay. It actually goes into the other ones. Let's see. Other favorites.
Yeah, because
So let's
I
see.
got
Number
20 on
four.
mine.
Number four was Persona 3 Reload.
Okay. That's probably like what, 2 hours?
Oh god. Number five was like Assassin's Creed Unity.
Huh. Would you boot it up for by accident?
I honestly think I just installed it and stuff, and then I just wanted to just try it out.
Yeah. Played it for 12 minutes. Turn it off.
Yeah, but the other one was that Nico, that Nico Dorico,
Oh yeah,
that
you got
game
the
that,
that got you the code for.
yeah, I played like about an hour of it or something like that, and that's about it.
So if it wasn't for me getting you a code for a game and a demo, you probably would have played your Xbox for like 10 hours.
Probably like around 10 hours,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's so funny.
And even so, it says I'm in the top 35% of this game's most played active
Jesus.
players. Oh God, for a little kitty big city, that is.
Yeah,
Not for.
yeah. I guess my little K Big City is like 17th on my list, but I played
And
it
you
for
want to
like
know something that's really
7 hours.
funny? For Hexic HD, it said I was in the top 10% of this game's most active players.
How many hours did you play it again?
2 hours.
Jesus Christ. Jesus. We do a video game podcast, Gables.
Well, you know how it is with my my gaming stuff. You know how I'm like just really focused upon like certain subsets of games and
Vampire
stuff.
Survivors and Balatro.
Wait until you get to the PlayStation.
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, I don't even want to know. Yeah.
And I didn't even mention anything for like Vampire Survivors of the Switch stuff. I mean, I did play
Oh
a few hours of that
yeah.
on there as well,
Well, yeah, like
but that was
by a few
not,
you mean like 100?
no, not
Didn't you play
100.
Balatro on Switch or did you play it on Steam?
I did play it on Steam and I played it
Okay.
on PS5.
Okay. No, I thought it was on Switch for some reason. All right. Okay. Well, Jesus Christ, Gables. All right. Well, we are gonna jump into. Let me just do a little quick time code here. We're gonna jump into our PlayStation. Um, Wraps. All right. Give me a second here. Gables, do you want to go first? You want me to go first, buddy?
Okay, I'm gonna go first with this one to try to make up. This is part of the reason why I didn't play too much, like on the Xbox or the Nintendo stuff. So for my PlayStation wrap up, in 2024, I played 42 games, 27 on PS5, 15 on PS4. It said my first game that I played was the demo of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. That was back around January 13th. What's kind of hilarious here, it's giving me this little blurb here from the very start of my PSN account. I've played about 270 games.
Hmm.
But yeah, so top five games. Number five is Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. 28 hours, 41 trophies, and it was only 7% of my playtime for
Hmm.
my whole year. So that was the one I got the platinum for. The other one, number four, was a game. Actually, no, it was an expansion that I finished back in June, and that was Destiny 2: The Final Shape.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I spent about 37 hours in all playing that. 10% of my playtime, obviously super low because I just finished that expansion. I played through and enjoyed it for what it was, and I never returned back to Destiny 2 after. Okay, number three is definitely not going to be a surprise to you or I, but it's just something that was just kind of funny. I spent about 41 hours playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I can tell you, when I find my games that I like playing, I play them for years. So I got one trophy during that time, and 11% of my playtime was that. Number two, actually, this is back around summertime here. 42 hours in Capcom Fighting Collection. So that was getting all the Darkstalker characters beat, like all the other like Red Earth, like all the different types of like fighting games in that collection that I can remember here. 46 trophies. I got the platinum for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you're going to know what the number one here is. So the number one at 55 hours, 162 trophies, and 15% of my playtime was Vampire Survivors.
How much was the
I got
playtime
the
again?
platinum in that. What's that?
What was the playtime again?
55 hours?
Oh, okay. Jump change. I think I have like 12
Okay.
games I played more than that this year.
Okay, so for my gaming style, they labeled me a sharpshooter. I spent 15% of my game time keeping targets in my sights with some tense shooters. Okay, so for my calendar year, this is going to be funny. I spent 2 hours in the month of January playing games on PlayStation, and the game I played was the original Guilty Gear, a retro fighting game that I wanted to try. What was even more hilarious is like, it's telling me that in the month of January I played 4 games, but yeah, the Guilty Gear one was the one I spent the most on. Final Fantasy VII, the original one, I spent like 2 hours playing it in February. And let's see, for March, let's see, 12 hours for. Okay, it's basically March, April, and May is the same game. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Those are my that's a 3 month stretch where that's what I was playing. 12 hours in March, 13 in April, and 14 in May. And then obviously June, I spent like 24 hours like playing like Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And that's yeah, it's a little I think that there was a little bit in July as well. But in July it was the Capcom Fighting Collection at 22 hours, and then August it was Capcom Fighting Collection for 19 hours. Oh, let's see. The top game for the month of September was Vampire Survivors, where I spent 46 hours playing that game, getting all the other stuff like locked and loaded and stuff. And I did play a little bit more of it once the Ode to Castlevania stuff came out. Let's see. October. My game of the month for the month of October was Power Wash Simulator.
Forgot about you had like a 3 week stretch.
18
That's all you played.
hours.
Yeah.
And November, obviously the Extra Life month and all this other stuff. I played Castlevania. I played Castlevania Requiem Symphony of the Night. So I played Symphony of the Night basically for 9 hours. Spread across the different type of stream things I did for what I was trying to do for Extra Life because I couldn't do the 24-hour crap. Well, the 24-hour just straight shot this year
Yeah.
like I generally do. And then my game for the month of December was Dragon Ball Sparking Zero at 6 hours.
Hmm.
Which, you know what? That's respectable. I did heavily enjoy what I did play from that. Okay, so let me see what else I got here. It just offers suggestions for what you do. So in 2024, I played about 359 hours. So yeah, you really racked up the hours. So hours played was 352. Game sessions was like, well, play sessions was like 284. Games played was 42. So as far as trophies go, 384 trophies. So let's see. My trophy level increased by 11 levels. So it was 353 and now it's 364. 250 bronze, 107 silver, 23 gold, and 4 platinum trophies.
Hmm.
So Astrobot, Vampire Survivors, Capcom Fighting Collection, and Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. You take a trip. It's been a long road. Take a look at the trophies you earn along the way, and it just goes like each month in terms of like what I earned and stuff. Like you see RZ's here.
Hmm.
You see Shredder's Revenge is here. Then the latest one was like Sparking Zero and stuff, December 6th. Okay, social stats. And this is pretty much kind of a funny one here. A glimpse of what you did with friends. Multiplayer hours spent, 19. Parties joined, 10. Broadcasts, 15. Messages sent, 2. One share place session. Okay, that's kind of funny. Apparently, I scored about let's see, 17 campaigns here, 5,393 points balance for like digital collectibles and stuff. But let's see, yeah. So the overall total thing was like 42 games played, 384 total trophies, 316, no, 359 hours, and then 19 multiplayer hours. So yeah, that's pretty much my PlayStation year in review.
Yeah. All right. We'll go through mine here. Start off with my top 5 games played. Number 5 with 40 hours, Helldivers 2.
Hmm.
That made up 6% of my time. Number 4, Assassin's Creed Valhalla with 65 hours played. I played 10. That was 10% of my playtime. I had like it was like I can't. I think it was like September or something like that. It's just it was a perfect game. Like just do a bunch of side content. The story and all was good enough that I just played a bunch of it.
Huh.
Number 3 on mine was Madden 24, 67 hours. That's because I played Madden 24 on PlayStation. Then I bought Madden 25 on Xbox. So number 2, a recent one here, 78 hours. Metaphor Refantazio.
Wow.
And then number 1, no real surprise here. Uh, 87 hours played Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Hmm.
So no real surprise there. My gaming style role player. Um, Go to the next screen here. Yeah, I got like my I got the calendar here. Yeah, so it's like January. I played Last of Us Part Two Remastered. My number one game played in February. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Uh, March was Rebirth. April and May was Stellar Blade because I think Stellar Blade came out like the last weekend of April. It's funny though, like I look June, July, and August. I have a combined like 20 hours played of games because I was playing Persona, College Football, and Madden that all summer on my Xbox. September I had 19 hour. I played 19 hours with Astrobot. October was number one game was Valhalla, and then November, December was Metaphor Refantazio.
Mm.
Where did I get my total hours? That's what I want to know. Oh, here it is. Total hours 588. Um, 41 games played. Uh, or why does it say? Okay, we're here. So
That's funny. You played one less game that I did in terms of like the PlayStation 5, but you had a little bit more hours than I did.
yeah. Well, there's a bunch of games I played for like a couple hours. Like I tried a bunch of games and played for a
Yeah.
couple hours. Yeah, I had two platinums this year. What was that? Life is Strange remaster was one. I don't even remember what the other one was. It wasn't Astrobot.
Hmm.
I don't even know. Probably it had been some early in the year because uh, I got all the trophies in Crow Country and Indica, but no, I played those on Xbox. So I don't even know what it is. That's weird. Oh, it was Brothers Tales of Two Sons. That's what it was. I played the remake. I got all the trophies in that one because that was pretty easy to do. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Um, yeah, it shows all my shares and all my stuff here. Oh yeah, but yeah, like multiplayer hours, 21 hours. Party joined 4. So not too much for me. Not an online gamer typically. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Pretty funny list there. So yeah, nothing. Just scrolling through all the pages here. Yeah, so yeah, 580. I think what's crazy is like I think um, obviously like I said, I've been off for the last 6 months with my broken ankle. So but you know, but it's funny how much more I like. I actually almost played as many hours on my Xbox. I think it was like 550 something on my Xbox. So 30 hours less than my PlayStation. So usually it's a lot more on. Usually I just play exclusives on PlayStation, but or on Xbox. So pretty crazy this year. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that is.
yeah. So that's kind of a wrap there. But like I was actually kind of looking too. Like I kind of broke it down a little bit. Like I looked up how many games I beat this year. I had beaten 31 games this year. Um,
31.
yeah, I think 27 of them were games that were like came out this year. So, and there's
Oh,
like other game.
good.
There's more games I played that came out this year, but they're like it's Madden and it's like Helldivers games you can't beat. So, stuff like ongoing games like so. But yeah, that's pretty great. I think by far the most I've beaten in a year. But I mean, obviously
Dude,
helps.
I'm gonna say this right now. It's like I have to go back and actually look at some of my lists in terms of for Xbox, PlayStation, like Nintendo stuff to see what initial games I did play because I know for even when it came to some of this collection stuff, we're talking about easily like 10, maybe 12 games or so a piece. So I don't even know how many games I've beaten this year.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even including that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like to me, it's just crazy. I mean, like, I played a lot of big games this year too. So, like, I think I have uh,
Yeah.
4, possibly 5 games I could think of that I played. 5 games I could think of that I played um, more, more than 50 hours through, like to beat. So, and then there's probably another, you know, half dozen, 7 or 8 maybe, that were like, high 20s to 40 hours to beat. So
Mm.
um, definitely it was, a lot bigger game. But like I said, a lot of that was like there's a lot of games I played this year like Persona and Metaphor and stuff like that, or like going through and playing Dragon Age Inquisition, stuff like that, where it's like I played through a lot of these games that like I probably wouldn't have otherwise because I was off work with a broken ankle. So
Yeah.
that helps too, obviously. But yeah, like I would never would have bothered picking up Persona 3. Like I picked it up right when I was out and found out I was gonna be out for a while. And I'm like, all right, cool. I need a big meaty game here to play, and there wasn't a lot coming out in the summer, and it's kind of worked out on Game Pass. So, but yeah, all right, I think that what we do for today? Yeah, Yeah, we'll run through this here. We'll do we have the Circana here for November. So people don't know, Circana report is this is from Matt Piscatell at Circana. It is this is all US based off of dollar sales, not individual sales, and it breaks
Mm,
down like
mm.
the previous months, like top 20 selling games. Then he also has like overall for the year and stuff like that. And so then when we come back, we'll have like the overall. We'll have December's and like the overall for the year. I actually haven't even looked at this yet. I just kind of put it in. I didn't. A little bit ago before we start recording. So, all right, Gables, we're gonna. You know, you're never even gonna be able to guess some of these. There's only three brand new games in the month of November, on here. But we talked like November is a pretty slow month. Um, you'll never be able to guess one of these for sure. Um, but is there anything you could think a brand new game that came out in November?
Brand new game that came out in November.
Nintendo game.
Oh, the Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Yep,
No.
number seven. Um, but then there's two other ones here, but I'm never going to ask you because you won't be able to guess them. Number 20, jumping in from 87th, the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
Oh, wow, there you
Number 19, a brand new game that you never would have guessed, My Sims Cozy Bundle.
go.
Number 18, Minecraft. Number 17, Metaphor Refantazio. A big drop off. There's a big drop off here because so that was number 5 the previous month.
Mm,
Number 16, Undisputed. Is that brand new boxing game? That was number 4 the previous month. Silent Hill 2 was number 15. That was 3 the previous month. Marvel Spider-Man 2 was 14th. Number 13 was Astrobot. Number 12, the other brand new game on this list, Dragon Quest 3. Number
yeah.
11, Hogwarts Legacy. Number 10, Dragon Age Veilguard. Number 9, NBA 2K25. Number 8, Shadow Cross or Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. Number 7, Mario and Luigi Brothership. Number 6, Super Mario Party Jamboree. Number 5, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Number 4, College Football 25. Number 3, EA Sports 25. Number 2, Madden NFL 25. And number 1, Black Ops 6. So
Mm.
EA killing it this month because I think they have 3 games they have 2, 3, and 4 on the list. They have number 10 on the list, and then number 19 on the list. So so far for the year, um, crazy enough, Call of Football 25 still number one best selling game of the year. Normally, when Call of
Mm.
Duty comes out, it just shoots up number one. It is number 2 for the year, and it actually passed Helldivers 2 for so the Helldivers 2 is now third for the year, in there. But Modern Warfare 3 is actually still number 5, so which is pretty funny. Um, and then oddly enough, Madden NFL 25 is 6th, and the Madden College Football Bundle is number 8. So so you have College Football number 1, Madden number 6, and then the bundle between those two games at number 8. So that is pretty funny number overall for the year. So anything on that one, Gables? Do you wanna add before we jump into some other stuff here?
Oh, anything I want to add to that? I mean, I'm not really too surprised with the outcome in terms of what had sold the most. I mean, it's either between like a sports game or Call of Duty, so that's pretty much like a no-brainer. Seeing MVC collection crack the top 20, that's actually pretty fun. That's pretty surprising, especially
Yeah,
the physical form of it,
that's because the physical
considering.
edition came out in November. So
Yeah, and the weirdest part about that is like even in certain like brick and mortar stores, like say like with Walmart and stuff, I see copies of that for the
oh
Switch like relatively commonly now. And that's just kind of funny to think about that because it's like you don't see the PS4 one, you see like the Switch one, and even so, just seeing like a collection of that sort just on the store shelves and stuff, it's really weird.
yeah, yeah,
But other than that, though, I mean, not too much other surprises. Just kind of like what I thought was going to be going. A little bit of a drop off from Metaphor. That's to be expected. Dragon Quest 3 remaster. A little bit of the boost because the whole aspect of hey, this is a great Dragon Quest game here. Let's see, like who's going to be going and buying it initially, which it seemed like a bunch of people did.
yeah. 12th for its debut month, pretty good.
Hmm.
Especially I think I saw it sold like over 2 million copies. So
Yeah, that's
uh,
not bad.
yeah, yeah, for a game like that, I'm sure that's pretty good, especially starting off. But some other interesting notes here. Overall, compared to last year, sales were down for games by 7% compared to last November. A big part of that was Black Ops 6 came out in October, and Modern Warfare 3 came out last November. And then also we talked about like November was a pretty light month because literally, like we said, there's 3 brand new games on it. One of them is My Sims, and then the other ones is like Drag Quest 3 and Mario and Luigi. Not exactly lighting the world on fire as far as like major games for that month. Um, some cool new stuff here is College Football 25 is now officially the best-selling sports game ever, and is now cracked the top 50 for best-selling game ever all
Oh
time, at
wow.
least as far as they've been tracking for. Which I couldn't find data on how far back that is, but I mean I think that's at least 2000. So since 2000, they since at least since like NPD Circana has been around, they have it's in the so in the last 25 years basically. It's one of the top 50 best selling games ever. Um, they like said the reason why like we've seen like Marvel Spider-Man and Madden NFL 25 and EA and stuff like that. They did price promotions, which makes sense. You have Black Friday and stuff like that. So I'm sure
Hmm.
a lot of those games jumped around because of that. And then kind of a cool little thing here, kind of giving us idea of like how well maybe the PS5 Pro is selling. 19% of PS5 console sales were for the PS5 Pro. So
Oh.
I think that's kind of what I expected. Maybe somewhere around there. I think I can't remember what the exact number was. Like PS4 Pro was like 12 to 14% of like overall sales for the PS4. I think like the OLED for the Switch is around that same figure. Like I think it's like uh, high single digits to like low double digits there. So no, probably to be expected. I think the Xbox Series X was like 8 or 9% as well. So I think that's
Mm.
probably going to be over when it's all said and done. I would not be shocked if it's probably about that same figure, around 15%, give or take, for the PS5 Pro. But yeah, um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for like news and anything like that. Like, not a lot of news this week, so stuff like that. Obviously, we said we'll be back next week with a special episode, stuff like that. But before we get out of here, Gables, for like the last time really for the year, we're gonna talk about what we've been playing. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first, buddy?
Oh, why don't you go first this time, Tyler?
Okay, so I played a few games this week. I beat a couple games actually. Since
Oh.
because so last week, because last week we recorded on Thursday because of the Game Awards. So I had some extra time to play some video games, stuff like that. So we didn't actually talk about what we were playing last week. I did actually finish up Metaphor Refantazio. Took me
Good.
78 hours. Um, like I said, I've been talking about it for the last few weeks now. Absolutely love that game. Really, really good game. I don't have too much more to add on it, be other than like I would like to. Other than I'll say this: that game could have ended 15 hours earlier. That game goes on for way too goddamn long. Like it's already a long game. These are long ass games. I'm aware of that, but my god, there were there is. It just feels like the last like act of that game is just so fucking long, and like I'm just like this like the last like you go into like the actual like final like this is like no turning back, this is it, like you can't once you go here you can't go back thing. uh and Gibbles, that last section, and this is with me like saying fuck it and just running through it, like after like a couple hours of like going through like the like that final dungeon, took another 10 fucking hours. And
Wow.
that's with me like at a certain point saying fuck it and just going like running past all the enemies, because like I was trying to go like this game doesn't really like there's not really a lot of grinding you can do in this game. Like you like towards the end you can do a little bit of grinding, but it's like it's not like it can get it can be very 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 tedious to do. um but you like you can't really do a lot of it. So like I was like as I was doing dungeons, like I was fighting every enemy, make sure I took them out, stuff like that, to like get like to make sure I was staying leveled. And like so I didn't want to skip anything, so I want to make sure I wasn't like going in on a level get my ass kicked. um but I got to that last part of that dungeon and I was just like fuck this and I just flew past everybody. I would take out the enemies where like I was over leveled, so you can like kill them without actually going into a battle. So I have to worry about using resources or taking damage. So I was doing those, but anybody that I could actually like go into a battle with, I'm like, nope, just run right past them. Go in and like that. I thought the final boss fight was kind of lackluster. Honestly, was not a big fan of it, which I was pretty disappointed by because like that Persona 3 Reload final boss fucking ruled. It's like it was like this big built up battle with a great soundtrack and like this over like hype moment and stuff. And like that's my favorite. Those are my favorite boss fights. Like that's why Final Fantasy 16 is so great. Is those boss fights are just so over the top crazy, beautiful cinematics, great music, and then like a really cool boss fight. Like Persona 3 Reload had that. And I was really really hyped for this metaphor about final boss fight because I was really thinking it would be, and I was just like, this kind of just feels like a JRPG, like final boss fight, like kind of like when I playing like one from like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It's like, all right, this is not as exciting as I was hoping it would be, but like it was still cool. Like I still like the game quite a bit. I'd say like as far as like I really love the premise of the game, and I absolutely adore the main characters in the game and some of the side characters and stuff you build relationships with. Like they're all great. They're really really cool. Like I talk about Heisman is one of the coolest video game characters ever created. Um, like he is on the par of like some of those like the original like Mass Effect trilogy characters and like party characters like that like Garrus level of like great, you know. Um, and yeah, like I just kind of thought like the final act of that game, like the main story though, like once you kind of like you start to like everything comes together and you're like, here's what's actually happening. Like I thought it just was kind of like it did not nail the landing. Like I liked the way it ended. I still liked a lot of things overall in there. I just kind of felt like they didn't like a lot of the stuff in the final act was not great. It was definitely I feel like the weakest part of the game was the final section. And also like I said,
Mm.
it was like I felt like you really could have like there was just I felt like a lot of padding in there that could have been like could have tightened a lot of shit up and like I didn't like I did all like I maxed out all the relationships like and that stuff wasn't tedious to me. I was fine with that. I did pretty much everything in the game. I did all the bounties stuff like that and I enjoyed that stuff. But it was just like it was just I feel like the main stuff, the main story could have like in like the last dungeon really honestly could have all been like wrapped up in a couple hours and it just went on for far too long. But like I still liked it overall. Like I said, I put 78 hours into it. But yeah, like could have been 65 and it would have been an even better game. The other game I did finish up though, just came out right at the end. This one kind of upsets me because it man like I feel like this game it just kind of everybody like like the gaming industry basically everybody's going on break. Like Game Awards already happened, so like it's just like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Uh, Definitely sucks. This game came out like I've like why didn't this game like just push it to like January? Put it out in like mid January. Why is it out? Why did it come out in December? Like because like I just like, this game it just feels like it's gonna like it's just gonna be like people are talking about it right now, but I feel like a lot of talk is like man it sucks. This game came out in December. Like I feel like most even like most people that buy video games, especially for the holidays, they buy them before Black Friday. Like that's kind of like the big cutoff typically for games coming out, and obviously helps us on Game Pass and all that. I know that too, but um, yeah, I played this game. I beat it. I loved it. This game is fucking amazing. I want to say it took me probably close to 20 hours. I'd say like 18 to 20 in there. My Xbox timer's a little off because they can let it sit idle for a little bit here and there, let it
True.
dog out stuff like that. But so it was like I think my over it said like 22 hours when I was done with it, so say 18 20 overall. Um, but yeah, I was blown away by this. I was a little concerned. Like I'm not the biggest Indiana Jones fan in the world. Like I like Indiana Jones. I like the movies growing up. I wasn't like a huge fan of them. I did like the last one that came. Dial of Destiny was pretty good. Crystal Skulls. We don't have to talk about that one. But yeah, like I enjoy these movies. I'm not like this super fan of them at all. But yeah, I was blown away. By Troy Baker. Man, like he is awesome as Indiana Jones. Like you would have like, especially like, honestly when like when Harrison Ford like he does like the yell and stuff. He kind of has like this gravel like his little gravel to it. And, like when he does the Harrison Ford like kind of yell, like it is fucking perfect. It is so I cannot believe he nailed it. Like it's so like there are like little things when he's talking, you can like cadences and stuff like that. You can kind of tell
Mm.
it's Troy Baker, or you could tell it's not Harrison Ford. But I like the important parts was fucking fantastic. But I was kind of
Mm.
like I was blown away that like I was a little concerned because like it's not like it was like more focused on like stealth and like you didn't like you have a gun, but like using a gun is not like the smart way to go about it. Like you don't have like you have a whip, but it's not really a weapon. You can kind of use it to like distract enemies, or like you can take like you can like get an upgrade and like you can like take a whip and like take the weapon out of like the Nazi's hand and stuff like that. Um, but like it is really about stealth, like picking up random items and they break after a few hits, stuff like that. But like it is fantastic. Like I really loved it. Like it is like crazy to me that like the people that made Wolfenstein that made two of the greatest first-person shooter games of all time, made a really good stealth like Dishonored game. Basically, it's really just Dishonored, which is baffling because it's like they own fucking Arcane, who makes some of the greatest stealth simulation games ever made. And like here we are, we got the Wolfenstein people just making another Dishonored style game, and like it has like you have like the open areas going to like there's a few open areas in the game. There's a couple like levels that are like more mainline. But like there's like the first one is like the Vatican, and the second one you're in Egypt. And I won't spoil the third one. But yeah, like I was going through and there's side missions you can find. There's like there's puzzles you can like random like puzzles you can find throughout. Like there's notes you can pick up that will like give you hints about things. Like so many secrets in like every single section. Like I was going through like before like and you can go back to previous areas and find things like the upgrades or solve more puzzles or whatever like that. And there's like books you can find that you can like use to like you take pictures or whatever you can like you basically as you do things you earn points and use those points. You can like you find books and you can buy upgrades based off of like those books. Like some are like basic stuff like oh you can like you do more damage or like some of those like like you can or like your whip can do this to enemies or whatever. But like yeah like I was doing like I did like all the like before I left every area I was doing all the like main like story like the story ones. And there's like the ones where like find like 24 of these or 12 of these. Like I didn't give a shit about those ones. I just wanted to like but like man some of the side stories in these are like kind of like they're not like an hour long but like they're 20-30 minute long like missions like that take you to like areas of the game you couldn't get to otherwise. And like one of them is really funny where like there's like a cutscene where you're dressed as a priest and this Nazi stops you and he wants to confess and like he takes you into like the confessional booth and he's like forgive me father I have sinned. And like he finds out like he impregnated not only his girlfriend but his girlfriend's mother.
What?
And her, Indiana
Wasn't
Jones just
expecting
goes,
that.
yeah, and like he thinks Indiana Jones is the priest, and Indiana Jones just goes, Jesus Christ, and he's like, the Nazi's like, what? And he's just like, you're not a priest, and he fucking just punches him through the screen and knocks the Nazi out. It's like it's so many like fun dumb moments like that of just like that's just a that's a side story. It's just like our side cutscene. Like there's some really funny moments. There's some really great stuff in there. Like going through and like finding like picking up like a random weapon. Like I picked up like a guitar and like just fucking broke a guitar like Jeff Jarrett over a Nazi's head. Or like there's like you pick up a broomstick and like you sneak up behind a guy, you hit him in the nuts, and then you smack him in the head and knock him out. It's like this dumb thing is like finding like I like finding a fly swatter and killing a Nazi or knocking a Nazi out with a fly swatter. Like it's just like dumb things. Like all right, cool, I'm going through this area and I'm gonna figure out like there's 6 guys here. I gotta figure out how to like take them all out. And I have like cool. I have like 3 hits with my fucking like a hammer. All right, cool. There's a baton over there. Oh, there's a mop over there. Like figuring out how to do it. Like it is really really cool. A lot of fun. Like the story is awesome. It's a really great. Like it is very much like I mean, obviously Uncharted is based off of Indiana Jones, but it is definitely like the story like on par with that. But like more of like it's this on gameplay. But yeah, like it is really great. Like and like I had a gun and I never used it except for like, there's a couple of, like story mission parts where you have to use the gun. But like I just never used it. I didn't I, like honestly for a good chunk of time I didn't even remember I had it. And like I don't know, like when you use it, it's like it's I don't know, like the shooting is fine, but it's like it's very like if you use all your ammo up, like there's not a lot of ammo throughout the game, so it's like it's honestly best you don't use it or use it sparingly. But yeah, like this game blew me away. It is fantastic. Like, I was like concerned, like this game being dumped in December made me very very concerned. And the fact that like it came out and it is I feel like I'm not considering to say it's like a game of it's like the game of the year, but it's like this is like a game of the year like contender. I think
Right.
this will be on a like this is a game I feel like that would be on a lot of people's top 10 list if it came out like a few months ago, or it would be people's like game of the year 2025 if it came out in like January. That's what's
True.
gonna suck is like I know like for Game Awards this game would be eligible for next year because it came out after the Game Awards, but like no one's gonna remember this game next year or like they're not gonna vote for it. There's gonna be so many great games that are gonna come out next year. That game's like this game is gonna kind of get lost about, but it's kind of sucks that this game's like it's almost like a oh fuck there was that other game that came out a couple years like in December. I can't think of it. I remember like Far Cry 3 kind of the same thing where it came out like mid December It kind of like it gained steam later down like, but it was like early the next year, like a few months down the line, because but that was another game that like that was fantastic, but just kind of like everybody kind of glossed over because it came out like mid December. So I don't know, it just kind of sucks. It's kind of a bad timing. I'm stunned that it came out when it did, but like it is solely worth it if you have an Xbox or a PC, or if you have a PC or Xbox, get Game Pass. This is definitely a game worth picking up. Game Pass for. So yeah, blew me away. And then last but not least here, real quick, I played that new Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, I believe is what it's called.
Hmm.
I've only played like the first few levels of it, Gables. Um, I'm not loving it. It's kind of just okay. Did you buy it?
I have not bought the game yet, but I will say that there was a major update that did release on Steam not too long ago that did fix some initial things and also did like update certain like control stuff, like say the Rangers can move faster and like other
Okay.
stuff. And I do know that the developers of this game are listening to other critiques that people have had since buying this game like about a week or so ago, and that not only did they go through and answer a lot of people's different questions, but they are swiftly trying to update this game for consoles like as
Oh,
soon as possible. Like they've already released their 1.08 update for Steam, and apparently that has fixed some of the problems that's going on with this.
okay.
But yeah, there I have not been able to go through and play it yet because I kind of wanted just to see like how well this game was going to do first,
Yeah.
because I've played Power Ranger games before. Obviously, the Super Nintendo was really the last time I played like any type of Power Ranger games, and I'm talking about the original, and I'm talking about the movie game in
Yeah.
and of itself. Yeah, those Super Nintendo games on there, I consider those fun beat 'em ups because they may not be as noticeable as say like a Turtles in Time or something more like a Final Fight or like Streets of Rage, but I'm still saying that these were comparable enough to where they were easily enjoyable, highly memorable. I remember a lot of the different music stuff, and especially when it came to like a movie tie-in game like the Power Rangers movie game for the Super Nintendo, it still played like a competent beat 'em up
Yeah.
personally. But no, I'm pretty much waiting until after the patches come out there before I just buy it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't want my first experience kind of be like a slow and muddled experience.
Yeah. Like I haven't ran any issues with like bugs or anything like that. My overall play is just kind of like, I don't know, like it's obviously like coming off like Streets of Rage 4 and um,
Yeah.
uh, Shredder's Revenge and stuff like that. Like those games are fucking fantastic, and
Yes.
like playing as each individual character like feels like every character feels different, has their own kind of move set, stuff like that. And my main complaint with this one is just like I played as a few different characters and they all play the same. They all have the same move sets. They don't there's no like difference in like power or speed, or at least as far as I could tell, there's no like noticeable difference in anything like that. The only like the cool thing is like if I'm playing on my PS5, so like my dual sense, the light will actually change based off what color you play as,
Oh,
which is pretty cool. So like I was playing as like the yellow, and then it turned yellow, and I was playing as the pink one, turned pink, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool jumping between those, and like that's kind of cool. And like the characters will talk, and the when the character talks, they come through your dual sense, which is kind of
yeah.
cool. But like oh, the music's like I'll say like the music is great. The like I feel like they did a good job of like nailing things like that, and like some of the voice acting stuff like that, and like I feel like though like just that's what biggest complaint is like when you play is like no, there's no like it just feels very basic as far as like you have like it's you have your jump, you have like the it's just like a basic you have your jump, down hit, you have like your jumping punch, and then you have like a punch, and then you have a special, and that's it. And there's like I've only played the first three levels. The third level is different, like you like it turns to like a third person like flying mission, and that's fine. But like I'm gonna keep playing it. I've heard it's like it's only a couple hours long. I think there's only like 10 levels or something like that, so it's not super duper long. So the only reason I bought it when I did because it was like I think it was like $7 off if you pre-ordered it. So I don't know. Like I'm playing. I'm like I said, I'm gonna at least jump in, play a few more levels. But like yeah, I'm not. It's just fine. Like I'm not like I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it's not great. It is totally fine. It is a totally fine average um fighting game. Not fighting game, but I don't know what we call these games. Like beat 'em up. Sorry.
Beat 'em ups. Yeah.
Uh yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like I'd say though like I really liked. I feel like they do a good job with like I said the Power Rangers part of it. Like if you like kind of like the Power Range part of it, you'll like that. But when it comes like it's just when it comes to playing the game, it's just totally average. So it is not on the level of a Shredder's Revenge or a Street Rage 4. Like, and like I don't know, like we're people that like I love that Battletoads game, and it's not a great game either, but like it's just fun and dumb enough, and there's so many stupid things that you do in that game that make that game
That's
great.
true.
So that's why that game stands out to me more, is just because like all the dumbness is just like a run of the mill beat 'em up game. So and that, it's fine. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. So I'm gonna play a little more of that. But do not expect it on my top 10 list. Probably don't even expect it on my honorable mentions either at this rate. But yeah, that's Gables. What else, have you been playing anything though?
Well, let's see. I did dabble with a couple of different games and stuff. Obviously, I said I was playing my Analog Pocket. I was trying to finish up the playthrough I had with my Pokemon Blue playthrough to where I'm just playing a Squirtle. So Freeze, this is Squirtle. Just went through and tackled a couple different gym leaders. It's at like level 60. Yeah, so my Squirtle is at like level 60 and stuff. I took out, which one did I take out first? I took out Blaine, which the fire type gym leader and stuff. What was kind of interesting about my initial playthrough so far is I did like the first two gym leaders in order and stuff, and then once I defeated Rival 2, where the Nugget Bridge and stuff is at, I went all the way and went to the SSN, defeated everybody SSN plus the rival battle there. I skipped doing Vermilion, I think, for a little bit so I can earn some more XP and stuff, going through Rock Tunnel, try to go, I think, through like Lavender Town, try to get some more EXP through trainers along the way to like Celadon City. And I got through a couple of different things in that. I want to say that I did the game corner before I even beat Surge, but I may be miscalculating in terms of that because you kind of need cut and you kind of like need fly in order to try to get like through a lot of different things here. But my last time I was doing the playthrough here is like I just beat Blaine. I just went through his entire team, used body slam when I could in terms of try to get like some of the trainers in that gym down. Just try to conserve a lot of different like my power points and stuff like that. And then when I finally faced Blaine, I took out both his Ponyta and his Growlithe pretty easily. Like Rapidash and Arcanine, which sometimes they can tank shots if, like, say they have high enough like special level, especially if you don't level up your Pokemon enough. I did have enough to go through and beat both of those Pokemon. So I beat Blaine and also I beat Erica because I tried facing her first before trying to go out to the Cinnabar Island stuff, but I wasn't leveled up enough to where I could just do one shots for her initial Pokemon would say with Ice Beam. For some reason, when I was like in the mid 50s or something like that with Squirtle, it would not completely 100% like just take out like her grass type Pokemon. Like I defeated every single one of her NPC trainers, right? But yet it's because I had there a Victory Bell that would kind of tank a bit of a shot right there and just do a Razor Leaf, and all of a sudden it's like a critical hit Razor Leaf. It's like, oh shit, well, this is not going to work. But yeah, took out Blaine, took out Erica. Right at this moment in time, I'm trying to do like I got like at least a couple of gym leaders left. I want to say I have like two, Sabrina and also Giovanni. I have not yet cleared out the Sylph Company stuff, so I need to do that. But as far as the playthrough, it's been like at least about 6 hours so far for this playthrough, so it's not bad. I know for previous playthroughs I've had, like, I've done a playthrough with Squirtle before where it's just Squirtle and evolve it all the way through to Blastoise, and I beat the game like within 4 hours doing that. It was 4 hours even when I finally did that save file. But this one's just more like a challenge run, if anything. Whenever I play like older games and stuff, on occasion I kind of like to do sort of like a challenge run stuff. And so playing it with just Squirtle only, that's fine. I have played through the game before, like with Charmander only, and then possibly, if I really want to try to be a masochist, I could just do a Pikachu run. Oh God, that would be kind of a pretty freaking crazy idea. But there are other games that I did have a chance to try a little bit of, other than like say Pokemon related stuff. I try to do a little bit more of like a combo training for. going through like Marvel superheroes that are that fighting game and stuff through the MVC collection. It's more so because I kind of want to get more acquainted with playing as Spider-Man. Spider-Man is probably one of my favorite characters playing that game because his combos are so easy to execute. It's and part of the reason why is like when you do like a setup chain and like a setup in terms of trying to go into a particular chain and stuff, it's so easy because you can just press like two buttons, like a light and heavy, like punch, or like yeah, light heavy punch for Spider-Man, like while he's standing, will launch an opponent up, and then you can actually jump up and do like a couple of like different hits and stuff, try to extend the combo. But there's a term that fighting that there's a term and like a technique you can use in order to try to get certain combos off more fluid, and that's called pianoing. And so basically what you do is like if you go and set up to a combo and all of a sudden you just piano the buttons to like just light, medium, and heavy, it will go through. If you can match the rhythm correctly, you can do like at least three additional hits or more based upon what you're doing. So through me screwing around playing a Spider-Man, I found out there's actually like two or three different types of setups for launching into combos. And one involves like him doing a crouch medium kick into a like standing heavy kick. So basically, he'll go through and he'll just crouch, like kick somebody with his left leg, and then all of a sudden I stand up, do like a back, I'll do like a freaking like his Spider-Man's like standing heavy kick is basically him do like a backflip, launching someone up in the air, and I can just go up and just do like a 1, 2, 3 hit, and then just the biggest combo I think I've executed with Spider-Man is like a 9 hit combo doing that stuff. And even so, it's there's all sorts of various directions you could take certain combos, just like using shortcuts. Like say if you don't want to do a 3 hit combo and you just want to do like a light heavy combo with Spider-Man and then like go into another combo, you could do that. Like for example, if I jump as Spider-Man and I hit like a down light kick and then down heavy kick, it will stun the opponent into place to where you can go and crouch down and do like a down heavy kick into a standing heavy kick and go and launch him up again. It's just stuff. It's just things that I do to try to entertain myself when I'm like I don't want to go and delve into like a new game fairly quickly, or just go and experimenting around with something that is I've done before, but I want to try new things to see if I could just get better with a specific character. That's part of the fun with fighting games is like you go into the training mode, you get to screw around with like how certain situations or how certain combos will work, and you'll end up finding some fun shit. But um, I'm trying to think of what other game that I did initially try to play. Nothing really much is coming into my mind at this moment, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it's towards the end of the year. Other than me being sick this past week, it kind of prevented me from wanting to play like anything really major. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us. So this is our craziest think, our final recording of the year. Like I
Yeah.
said, Gables and I will have content up next week. We have a fun little surprise episode for everybody up next week. That'll be up next Sunday, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks with our game of the year part two and or part one, and then part two will be the week after. Like I said, at the top of the show. If anything crazy happens, if the Switch 2 happens or whatever, we'll be back for that. We'll break our we'll end our break for that. Part of me kind of hopes it doesn't because I kind of like said we only ever get 1 or 2 weeks off a year. I kind of want to have those breaks. So it'd be great if we can have those. But no Nintendo, they'll finally announce the fucking thing we're on break. Um, but yeah, so thank you guys so much if you for watching all this. If you guys have been with us beginning of the year, jumping in now, we appreciate it. If you want to support us in any way, like I said, we don't have a Patreon, we don't have anything like that. If you want to help us out, just subscribe to us, like us, follow us, 5 stars, leave comments, tell your friends, share the show. We're on every podcast service. We're on it, and we're on YouTube. So there are links down below to get you to all those places. But I was your host. I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. Until next time, everyone, thank you for listening to another fun filled episode of the Drunk Nerds podcast. And I hope you have yourselves a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Just be with your family or friends and stuff and just have a fun time. Take a
And
load off. And remember, next year, 2025, we will still be here helping you
Yeah.
wherever we can.
Yes. And Gables,
Yeah.
rest in peace to the greatest baseball player of all time.
Rest in peace, Ricky.
Bye, guys.
See ya.